We got a great move out of the Bitcoin miners today that came with Bitcoin itself moving up 2.79% today and more than that over the weekend, which made us have an excellent open, and we just drove higher and higher all day long. It looks like we've got CleanSpark and Mara kind of tying almost for the winner in terms of the biggest move up today. CleanSpark moved up 18%, Mara up also 18%. CleanSpark beat it out by 0.14% for the day, but we got over 879 there. Now this isn't the 200-day moving average here, this red one, but it did turn green. This is a multi-kernel. Let me go in here. It's a multi-kernel regression line. Basically, it shows just the super trend, and it just recently turned to up and green, so that's really good. I also got a cross up on some EMAs here, is indicated by this little green triangle at the top here. Let me at the top there, and then that green circle at the bottom there means that it's matched with RSI being above 50. So that's actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy about this. We got the 50-day moving average at 929 for CleanSpark. We conquered that. We are going to be on our way to the 200-day moving average at $11. That's actually really exciting as long as Bitcoin holds. And I'm starting to think that Bitcoin might be able to hold. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Let's take a look at Mara as well. Just real quick, we'll look at Mara. Maybe we'll look at any others that went up really big. Btfd did 16%, MicroStrategy did 10%. MicroStrategy is starting to look very attractive again right now. But okay, let's take a look here. We got Mara coming in. This is actually, these are the big green candles I was looking for. These big green ones right now, these are the big green candles that I was looking for to see if it was time to get back in. Now, of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. You must make your own decisions. You must come up with your own risk profile and understand that loss is a part of the game, and plan for it accordingly and ahead of time so that you know what you're going to lose before you even go in. All right, anyways, Mara, we are coming up on that trend line. It gets above this trend line. I'm looking at it to go to the 50-day real quick at 1550, and then the 200-day at 1772. I still want to see Mara get above 20, but it could be a rocket ship up to 20 and then slam into that, and we'll see what happens there. That then is going to depend heavily on Bitcoin and some other factors here. Let's see what else went up pretty big. Btfd, as I said earlier, went up pretty big. Core Z was up about 10%, but I'm thinking I might want to be in Mara potentially, since it went up the biggest. That was the big breakout, and I'm interested in the biggest breakouts, not the mediocre ones. So I mean, like, everyone else was between 7 and 9.5%, so not great. Btfd was a standout at 16.38%. That's pretty interesting there as well. Let's see if this holds through the day. We can already see in the after hours they're already starting to bleed off a little bit, which is to be expected on such a big day. It's never going to go up and not come down a little bit. Even MicroStrategy is coming down a little bit, even though Bitcoin's up still for the day. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. We'll talk about this real quick. This is why I think that we might actually be looking at the turning point here, especially if Bitcoin is able to close over $90,000 this week, which is really easy. You can do that in the blink of an eye here, especially because, I mean, it's less than $2,000. It's $1,500 away, basically. Well, $1,574 away. Okay, I know there's data here. Come on. Load, man. There we go. All right, so here is why I'm looking at this right now and thinking that this could be the turning point. One, we're at the top of this descending channel here that I've got drawn on there, which coincides with the 50-day moving average at $89,000.60. Okay, we get above that and we start closing candles above that descending channel that I've got here from the very top, which is all the way back from January 20th or so. We get above that. We start closing candles above that, then we're using that as support, and we're bouncing on it our way up. The other thing is that volume actually came in today. So the volume was pretty weak for a while here. You can see volume's been dropping since February 25th. You can see it kind of sloping down. Volume sloping down. And today we got a pretty big volume bar along with this nice big candle that was, I mean, it was only $2,200, but that one and the previous one together are $5,000. And we've got some decent volume coming through today. That is great. We keep that up tomorrow. Okay, we keep that up tomorrow. I'm going to be flipping my script on Bitcoin, saying that 78 was the bottom back here, or 70, not 78, 76, I want to say maybe. Yeah, saying that 76 was the bottom, And as long as it stays up above this chunk of candles right here, above like 82 or honestly even $80,000 from now on, I would say that the bottom is basically in. That's when I'll be saying it. Okay. And if we lose $80,000 again, then I would say that, ooh, maybe it's done for in that case. So that's what we're looking at right now. I want it to get over 90. I want it to close the candle up there, open another one, not touching it, just above 90, not touching 90, doesn't come back to look at 90. And then I want to see it not go back beneath 80 this cycle, and I'll be saying that it's ready to at least go back up to the all-time highs, right, which is about $109,000. Maybe even give us that double up, taking us to like $150,000 to $160,000 on Bitcoin before rolling over again. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Keep that in mind, and the miners will act accordingly. MicroStrategy will act accordingly. MicroStrategy might not make it back up to that 500 some odd dollars that it did before, but the mid 400s is very possible. And you know what? We're only at 335 right now, so that could be a $100 move on that stock. In terms of something like, let's say, CleanSpark, we could see that get back into the teens pretty easily. Tomorrow, we could see that get back into the 20s pretty easily. That sort of thing. So we're talking IREN, teens, decently easily. Core Z, same, teens, low 20s, pretty easily. So that is what we're looking at. Of course, if Bitcoin comes back down and goes back under the 200-day moving average, and then goes back down to $80,000, well, then I'd say, yeah, that's probably done for, and it's probably going to roll back over from there. So that's what we're looking at. We want to see Bitcoin above 90. We want to see this volume hold. We want to see it get above this 50-day moving average and this descending channel. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, for me personally, not for anybody else, but for me personally, it is on when it gets there. So far, lately, I have been crushing it with SoFi, Tesla, and Vertiv. Those are the ones that I've been buying up a lot lately, this last week. AMD is another one that is finally having its breakout moment today. I think today was the day AMD had its breakout moment. It had a 7% candle, basically, today. It broke out of that disgusting descending channel that it's been in for a really long time. See this trend line right here, this orange one? It broke out above that. It broke above the 50-day moving average with volume. It broke above the 50-day moving average with volume. AMD might just be back. It can hold this tomorrow and stay above that 50-day moving average tomorrow, and I think AMD might just be back and ready to roll. So AMD is officially back on in my brain here as long as it holds tomorrow. I do have some credit spreads I'm running on that one. Those have been pretty profitable for me so far, but I might switch from credit spreads. I might close those tomorrow if price and volume cooperate and open up something more aggressive. And of course, nothing I say is financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. I have my own reasons for doing these things, and you need to have your own reasons as well, not just because I'm talking about it. If I'm talking about something, go and look into it and then decide if it is a fit for your portfolio or not. Do not FOMO into anything. It is not a good time to be FOMOing because all of this could be undone with a single rug pull by a tweet about the trade war, and then it is all over again, just like it was last month when we dropped tens of % in a few days. That could happen again. All we need is one bad tweet about trade war and all of this goes away. So if you're not okay with that risk, you really need to assess what risk you are okay with before entering anything. All right, anyways, that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description as well as the channel bio, and have a profitable day.